All right, hey guys, Jay here. And today I'm basically going to reveal my entire strategy with Amazon because it works. And if it helps you make money, the people in the community of subscribers, then that's a really big win for the community. And I've been saying since I started this business, this method of my storefront and the products that I focus on actually work. So let's go into it, all right? So first thing first that I have here, I selected about 6 to 7 products that I sold in the past in these certain niches that I'm going to talk about and why they were successful and how they were successful and kind of how you can do the same exact thing. All right, so we'll go down it step by step. So this first one here was a Rachel Ray, basically like cat food product. And this is a little bit of a hint of one of the niches that does really successful. The second one was a Nature's wet dog food product, right? Third one was a Crest sensitivity pack of 4 teeth whitening product. Fourth one was a gold bond product. Fifth one was some very, very niche product of some shrimp remover. And the last one was basically hair care products. And across just these 6 products was 20K in revenue, about 2K in profit. And again, I just selected just a few of them because a lot of the ones in my storefront right now I'm selling currently. And I don't want to give you guys those because I am currently selling those and trying to, build the business off of those. But those are going to be good insights and we'll come back to this when we talk about those specific niches, okay? So let's talk about my actual storefront and what it looks like. So my storefront is basically compiled of this kind of percentage-based type of products. So number one, we have 50% of it is done with healthcare. 25% of it is done by industrial products. And industrial is kind of like very, very niche, not really tools, but like liquids or janitorial supplies, maybe cleaners or removers, certain tools that they use in schools or, factories. So it's a little bit very, very niche of a category, but I have some winners in there and I kind of expanded my catalog throughout it. And then 25% of it is done by outdoor products, swimming products or lawn care products. And then I just call it miscellaneous because there's some that just don't fit into any of these categories. But for the most part, typically my storefront is majority healthcare on a year-over-year basis, literally since the day I started. From the day I started, you probably could switch out industrial with pet supplies. Those probably went hand in hand with healthcare. And I sold it because it works. It works really well and it works for beginners. And I'm going to talk about that specifically for beginners because it's easy to sit here, $2 million in sales later on Amazon and say, oh yeah, just do this, this, and that. But that doesn't help you as a beginner. And I want to help you guys throughout the entire video of what would work for you right now if you opened up a selling account, okay? So let's keep it flowing into this one. What I prioritize, all right? And this is a big one. So, and I'm going to explain what this means in a second. But 10 to 20% of my catalog is near-term opportunities. And then 80 to 90% of my catalog is wholesale / long-term. So as you guys continue to watch these videos, you're going to know that I really, really emphasize doing long-term opportunities, that ones that sell for 6 months, 9 months, 12 months that are profitable. So that way I'm not always on the computer placing orders and worrying about the next lead that I'm chasing. So I like the long-term opportunities, but if I'm being completely honest, I probably need to change this around a bit and increase this number right here, this 10 to 20%, because it does a lot. It does really, really good for the business. And if I focus too much on this, sometimes it gets really hard for the money situation. So, because you have to have money to spend on inventory to Amazon. And when I'm, investing into wholesale products, sometimes it takes a long time for the inventory to go, buy it from the supplier, go to the prep center, go to Amazon. That could be like a 4 to 5 week process in itself. And these near-term opportunities, literally you could have the inventory ready to be sold in 10 days or 14 days, which is really, really efficient. So this number is going to come up here in 2026, and this number is going to go down just a little bit in 2026. Now, let me actually explain in detail what near-term and short and long-term opportunities actually mean. So let's say for this example, right, on this supplier here, Walgreens, and this lead right here, this Aussie Sprunch product. To me, this is a near-term opportunity because there's always deals and discounts to make this product profitable. So as you can see, you get 15% off of $30, or you get 20% off of $50. And a lot of times these products have like buy one, get one free, buy one, get one half off. And these are ones that I chased knowing that, okay, maybe I can't do this on a week over week basis, month over month, because sometimes the deals just go away, but I want to take advantage of it now, make $200 to $300. And then later on, maybe I can revisit this, but this isn't consistent replenishable lead, right? A replenishable lead is one that I can, log on to, buy or contact the supplier and buy again and again and again, hopefully for 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, hopefully forever, right? But if I have to go in here and get some sort of BOGO, some sort of discount, again, there's tons of websites like this, like PetSmart, Petco. Those are kind of like, near-term opportunities, one-time opportunities, just to make a bit of money for the business and get good cash flow. That's what I consider a near-term. Now, a long-term opportunity, this might not be a perfect example, but for example, this store here, weldingstore.com. I reach out to this store and have a relationship with the owner of this store specifically, right? So what I do is I just order specific products on a month-over-month basis or every 2 months basis, however much stock I need or have. And that way it makes it a lot easier to just always stay in stock for my inventory. And I consider this a long-term opportunity because I can do this for the next 6, 9, 12 months, considering that the product in the listing looks well. And I continue to replenish my inventory all the time without having to worry about discounts or BOGOs. Like this product in specific, and there's tons of other products like this, are one-time opportunities or like, once in here and there opportunities, just like Black Friday. When everybody talks about maybe potentially selling on Amazon, they're looking for deals or coupons or discounts. And that's great, right? For the profit and the money for $500, $1,000, $200, whatever it may be on that specific listing. But I like to have some consistency where I know, okay, if I buy this product, I'm going to make, $250 a month for the next 6 months or $2,000 a month for the next 6 months. And that way I can build that catalog out more and more. And then I have a really good diversity between near-term opportunities where I'm making some kind of quick money and then having that long-term catalog play where I'm kind of balancing too. And like I said, it's important for me to up this near-term opportunities just because of money in the business. It's good to have the money come in and come out, right? Everybody likes the money. And sometimes it takes a long time with these wholesale opportunities, okay? So now, let's keep it flowing into some of the more important stuff. Categories that win and won for me as a beginner. And this statement is really, really important because if you're starting off as a beginner, you want to know what's going to work for you, right? There's going to be a lot of products that I can sell or have opportunities to sell that maybe a beginner doesn't have. So I want to make sure I emphasize beginner winning categories, all right? Just like I had in my storefront in the early days, and I continue to put in my storefront now. So number one is pet supplies and pet food. I've said it time and time again, but this category, this products like dry dog food from PetSmart, Petco, Chewy, all of those suppliers, they do a killing because they're so replenishable. The return rate is so low. It's easy to get discounts for, and customers keep coming back constantly for pet food and pet supplies. There's always demand in so many of these products, and you could sell them in variations. It just so many different opportunities when it comes to pet food and pet supplies. It's literally what I built my business off of in the early days because I found a lot of good winning products in this specific niche, all right? Number two, healthcare. So I've said it time and time again, and to no surprise, like I mentioned, healthcare is 50% of my business. Literally, like it's 50% of my business to this day. And as a beginner, it was healthcare as well winning for me. Now, I'm not saying healthcare such as Crest or anything like that, but lotions, creams, like pills, medicine, healthcare is such a good industry because one, the return rate is really low. Customers keep coming back to buy it, and it's a little bit niche that most sellers don't think of. When you think of selling online, whether it's any marketplace like Walmart, eBay, TikTok, Amazon, people always flock towards clothes, shoes, stuff that's kind of one time and go, stuff that has high returns, and it's a very saturated niche. But healthcare, people don't really pay attention to the niche that much. They think it has to have so much complex stuff, but it really doesn't. And it's been a really big winner for me. And literally from the get-go, when I first started as a beginner, it was a massive winner. So I 100% recommend healthcare, all right? Number three, I'm just going to put the entire category in general, niche, all right? You might be saying like, what is niche and what do you mean, where should I go to find niche? So niche is not a specific category, but it's kind of like an umbrella here. So I always recommend you guys going for niche opportunities because one, you have an opportunity as a beginner to sell the product right away. You're not gated or restricted. A lot of those smaller brands, they have those opportunities. And two, a lot of people just aren't working in these categories. Everybody's focusing on, shoes, clothing, beauty, creams, whatever, maybe deodorant, maybe not deodorant because that's also kind of healthcare. It's pretty good. But like, lotions and, not lotions, like sunscreens, okay? Sunscreens specific. All those beauty cares and clothing and shoes just aren't good categories to really work in because there's high return rates and there's a lot of competition. But a niche category, and it could be literally anything like industrial. Industrial is very, very niche, like janitorial products. Who thinks of that, right? Or like, window washer on your window at people's homes, right? All those niche categories do a killing on Amazon, and a lot of people stick away from it. I don't know why, but this is what I would recommend. And this kind of combo is exactly what I did. So I had a big majority of pet supplies, big majority of healthcare. And I had a really big majority of niche, I guess, like one product here and there in different categories. And to this day, to no surprise, I have pretty much more of the same. I still work in pet supplies from time to time. I work in a majority of healthcare, and I have a ton of niche products. That 25% of my catalog is literally niche, right? Which is really, really important for the business. So really critical to look on. Now, but more importantly, I have to give my recommendations. So literally 4 years of doing the business, $2 million in sales, every fail that you could possibly imagine from a beginner because I didn't ask questions and didn't watch YouTube videos. These are my recommendations. Here it is. The more niche, the better, all right? Now I know there is money to be made in the big categories or the big brands that a lot of people know and can easily buy from. But the more niche you find the product, the better it is, because that means that the harder it is to find a supplier. That means the harder it is that other competition and other sellers will do it, and the more money you'll probably be making because nobody is flocking that way. I always say, literally from the day I started, I'd rather fish in a small pond with a lot of fish than in a big ocean where where all of the competition is and it's pretty dang hard to find all of the products and all of the fish, right? So if you focus on niche categories, and literally I don't mean just sitting here and just brainstorming the craziest categories, like, I don't know what it might be, like window washer for eyeglasses or something like that. Like, I don't recommend doing that, but go to the Keepa charts, go to reverse sourcing, go to Keepa product finder, and look through all of these opportunities because they are there. Just read the data. If it sells well, approach it. If it doesn't sell well, avoid it. Regardless of how good the niche is, you want to make sure that the data is right and the data sells. And that's what I did with all of these products. All these products I didn't really have a good feeling for, like, oh, I know that this Apahagi Care bundle is going to do really, really well because I believe in the brand. I didn't say that. Or even with Rachel Ray, Nurtrish cat food, I never said that, right? I always looked at the data, at the Keepa chart and the SellerAmp to make sure that, okay, there's a lot of profit, there's a lot of sales volume, there's a lot of demand, and there's a lot of consistency. That's what I'm looking for when it comes down to break down these niche categories. And this is what my entire catalog is made up of, all right? I have, the healthcare, I have the industrial, I have the outdoors, I have miscellaneous, and these categories work. Like this process works. I've been doing it since the day I started, and I really haven't moved off of it because all I have to do is have more money in the business to grow the business, all right? Now, of course, over time, you grow the business by buying suppliers from like these, then growing into these ones, then maybe you work with the brand directly or through a wholesaler, but there's a limited opportunity when you work in the right niches, in the right category. So that's why I always recommend it. And this is exactly what I do, and it's my blueprint from top to bottom. So there you guys go. I hope you guys liked the video and took at least one thing away from it to start your journey. And if you liked it, as always, like and subscribe. I have a ton of videos coming up, getting really, really close to my trip. So I'm super excited for it. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Let's go.